day 39 of the second run of 100 Days Making Comics. I'm Ox, and this is where I take at least 30 minutes out of every day for 100 consecutive days to work on my independent comic I never forgot. But a drifter wanting to accomplish one last goal before he can pass along happily, and do that he must. So what did I want to do for today? I started off real early this morning, 4 o'clock, woke up, and was already nose of the grindstone. Was working on putting some PDFs together for the first through third issue. I got rid of all the preview pages as well as the sketchbook areas to give to a couple people for reviews and whatnot. Mainly was doing it for the people that I'm going to be interviewing with this coming weekend, and just felt like sharing it with a few other people, see what they take for it. So might have some updates tomorrow on that. But that took a solid 4 hours. The computer was fighting me just about every bit of the way. Finally finished it up at 9 o'clock, and then kind of figured out how I wanted to work with the rest of the day. I wrote down yesterday that I definitely wanted to get roughs semi-finished for the 4th issue. I was thinking about just, fancy notebook with all my notes and tags to it. I was hoping to at least get 3/4 of the way through it today. Wasn't expecting much more than that, but I can happily report that end of issue 4, and there is stuff all on the pages. The roughs are done for issue 4. Going to be working on pencils tomorrow, putting blue pencil on Bristol, getting them ready to ink. So today is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hopefully by next Monday, pencils will be done. And then I'll start inking next week, which puts me a lot further than I was on issue 3, at least for timeline wise. So hopefully I'll be inking next week. It's going to be 24 pages, I believe. 6 are already inked, so we got 18. So hopefully in 2 weeks I'll be coloring issue 4. Still have plenty of work to do on it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the sketchbook pages. I think I have a good idea, but I'm not quite sure. Also finishing up the print for that. I got 10 days to go on that print, and then I'll be making a whole new print for that to go into issue 4 as well. And one final thing today is I wanted to get one of these issues ready for Art Drop Day next week. If you're not aware of this, you can check out Jake Parker's page. It's pretty basic. Make a drawing, put it somewhere, take a photo where you put it on social media, and hopefully people will find it and tag you. And I'm going to be doing issue 1 and 2. I'm going to do 5 different ones of them. And then all I'm going to do is use sketchbook pages, draw something fun for them, throw the art drop page on the front of it, leave it in a area for people to find that, and we'll see if I get tagged in those. But since it's next Tuesday, 7 days away, I figured if I do one a day for the next 5 days, that'll get those out of the way and ready for them. Because now I have a reason to go and do art drops next week. So that's all the ways that I've worked on the comics so far today. Pretty excited to have the roughs for 4 already done, and yeah, I'm probably a good week ahead of schedule for working on 4. I was kind of worried that I was going to be drawing pretty close to end of October being done with 4, but I think I might be able to get this done before October. Might have to definitely really look hard at the timeline and see if a Kickstarter is going to be possible to be kicked off probably mid-September, so 3 weeks or so. We'll see though. Let's get in the meat and potatoes of today's video though. The last day for the Kickstarter videos, kind of dealing with the aftermath of the Kickstarter indeed. There for sure is post-Kickstarter depression. Once you do a Kickstarter, you're on such a adrenaline-fueled high of getting through the campaign that you're constantly promoting yourself and telling people about your project and wanting to drum up support for it, that as soon as the project is over and you take a breath and are able to breathe again without those enormous amounts of stress upon you, it really sinks in that, oh my god, now I have to make this thing for people that want it. And that can almost be so overwhelming. I speak from genuine experience. I think yesterday funds were just released, so it's 2 weeks after my last Kickstarter was completed. And the main reason, or the main way I combat all of that, is just staying busy, just keeping my nose to that grindstone and working as hard as I possibly can, just to not even think about kind of what I've promised people that I'm going to be doing. And with that, I mean, I still had lulls because I was thinking I was going too slow on getting 3 together. I'm still worried that it might not be done in 2 weeks, which hopefully, I'm fingers crossed, hope to God it's going to be done in 2 weeks, because I have a friend coming from Canada and I would love to have the 3 issues available for her when she comes. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in 2 weeks, having the 3rd one done, and that'll be right about day 50, which was the original goal of doing this second run of 100 days, was to have 3 finished by day 50 and 4 finished by day 100. So on track for those as well. So the aftermath of Kickstarter, you kind of have to get yourself a timeline built. Funds won't be dispersed for 2 weeks after your project's funded, and in that time you want to be working toward your goal and updating people. You want to update at least once a week, if not twice a week. Just kind of puts people's minds at ease that they just didn't throw money into a pit and it's just a burning pit. Staying busy is a great way to not focus on everything that you've got to get done. And one of the big things you get to do is make surveys for people. You'll have a survey to make for every tier you do, or every pledge level. So you want to be thinking about that too when you're making rewards. The less rewards you have, the less surveys you're going to be sending out, and the less incredible headache that will be. One good tip for when you do surveys is tie everything all back together with your newsletter and ask people if they'd like to know what's going on with the project and whatnot, behind the scenes details, and if they'd like to sign up for your newsletter, to put their email address in there so you can sign them up for your newsletter as well. I hit that every time I do a new Kickstarter. My newsletter has grown at least 50%, if not more, from just doing these Kickstarters and gaining new people that read my newsletter that way, as well as fun little things. With Kickstarters policies, they don't let you do giveaways and whatnot. I am not of that mindset. I want to reward people that actually back my projects, which I don't want to make a huge raffle thing of it, but I tend to give a painting away every Kickstarter. One painting that specifically that's in each of the books that was funded. And this time is no different. I'll probably be doing the drawing for that in a week or so when the books actually get close to coming in. I'll be doing a live drawing on one of these videos. But so you got the surveys. Keep the updates coming. Tie it back to your newsletter. Keep some of the information for updates, but keep some of the information for your newsletter. Makes people want to know all of that stuff. And some of the best things I can tell you. Remember when I was telling you to get your business cards and everything like that? Well, put it into practice when you start shipping out. Also, if you're doing comics, bags and boards are one of the easiest and best ways to show off your comic. When you get a project, or when you get something in the mail with a bag and a board, it looks infinitely better than just it by itself crammed into an envelope. Not only is that going to save you a headache worrying about if it's going to get damaged in the mailing process, but it also protects the product itself because it gives it a little more stabilization. So definitely your packaging that you send out, you're going to want to make sure that's top notch, because that's what people are looking forward to for pitching in and helping you out with your project. I am always concerned that I'm not doing enough, so I tend to throw in some stickers, my business card. I will be doing a postcard for this last one, and then the book, bag and board. I have been doing buttons, but those have been stretch goals. Unfortunately, my last Kickstarter didn't hit the stretch goal for buttons, so I didn't make them for this time around, which is kind of a bummer, but at the same time I don't have to worry about making all those up. So you definitely want to make sure your packaging is top notch and shipping is. I'm going to put a link in the description to a video for Jake Parker where he explains some of the details behind shipping. It's kind of where I've gotten my advice about my shipping policy, I guess I would call it. So with all that, you want to thank everybody that helped out too immensely, because without them, your story won't be heard. That's a little dramatic, I know, but if a story falls in the middle of a forest and no one's around to hear it or read it, it's definitely not going to get read. So thank those people, and then keep up to updates and keep that newsletter rolling. It kind of gives you a reason to update people and send out that newsletter every month. So let's do a quick recap of all these points. First, building an audience is going to be one of your main goals. You want to start with a newsletter. You want to get signed up in MailChimp, set up an account, start asking people if they want to know what's going on with your art stuff, and if they do, sign them up on the newsletter. If you watch these videos and you start your own newsletter, send me a email, samuraiox@gmail.com. I'd love to sign up for your newsletter and find out more about your art. I love seeing what artists have going on in their lives, and I genuinely love being inspired by other people being inspired. I don't know how I wasn't signed up for Jason Brubaker's, but if you check out his blog, remindblog.com, sign up for his newsletter. He's got a lot of good notes that you can take from just his opening "Thanks for signing up my newsletter" email. So check him out. Let's see, there's a few more. Like if you buy it from artists, they'll automatically put you on their mailing subscriptions, and if there are artists that you like, go sign up for the newsletter, because it's the easiest way to keep in touch with them, and they will immensely thank you for it, just because it knows that people are interested in their work. So when you start building your newsletter, you want to start building up some sort of following. You want to set up a website, getting your ducks in a row, kind of figuring out what your campaign wants to say. More importantly, what you want to say with your campaign, what you're trying to get funded, stretch goals. You want to get a campaign together that's clear, concise, and right to the point. Also, when you're laying out your rewards, you want to do bullet points so people know exactly what they're getting. Very easy to read and concise and to the point. And then afterwards, you want to keep people updated. You want to make sure you're staying busy for the few weeks afterwards, just so you don't let that depression sit in, because it is a lot of stress doing one of these campaigns. Also, you want to work on getting your shipping and packaging in top-notch form, because this is what people are waiting for. Also, keep those updates coming and that newsletter a-rolling. I think I just read something that I wanted to hit on too. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I think that's about it. So let me know if you have a Kickstarter. If you want, throw it in the comments below. I'll check it out. If you have a newsletter, hit me up. I'd love to see what you have going on in your world of art. And I hope these were helpful. If you have any more questions, comments, throw them in the comments below. I'll get to those. I think I'm going to do a recap on day 45. Tomorrow I will tell you how I'm going to actually put my newsletter together. I'll give you some tips and advice that I've picked up along the way for doing my newsletter for about a year now. So look forward to that. Along with all of that, I don't know. That's what's coming up. I'll tell you all about my newsletter, how I do it, how I work with it, how I send it out to people tomorrow. So look forward to that. Questions, comments below. Check out that Jake Parker video. I put in the link down below for his shipping and packaging policy. And I think I'll probably post most of the links that I shared the last few days for anyway. Also check out the art drop day. That's awesome. It's going to be next Tuesday. Make some art. Give it to people. Hope they tag you on social media for sure. Issue 3 is coming. If you're interested, issue 1 and 2 of my series I Never Forgot is available on my Big Cartel site, as well as you can pre-order the 3rd issue right now, and then I will send that out with the first string of issues. That's going to do it for me today. Questions, comments below. I'll check in with you for day 40 tomorrow, and I'll explain my newsletter process later.